All right, guys. So I'm going to talk about this for one quick second because I really do need to address some stuff. So, um, this is with mostly James Gunn and David Zaslav. And this is just me, James Gunn, David Zaslav, and David Zaslav, or excuse me, David Z is easy because his names kind of get tongue tied with me sometimes. Need to stop reshooting. Just let these films come out and play out the way they are. Let these films come out and play out. And then probably get some money back on their investment. They're going in and rechanging things to fit. Well, we don't want this in here because we don't want y'all to think they're coming back. It's too fucking late. If it's in the film and it follows the context of the film or it has that flow, you can start messing things up. And you're putting more money into a film where you know you're not going to continue with. So leave it alone. Let it play out. Blue Beetle, if you're going, the only film they should have continued is Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is that only film that they should have continued with. There's some reshoots because I would incorporate the Blue Beetle. One, it's not really, you can really look upon the Blue Beetle and be like, they really didn't touch upon that too much in the DCU. Hence, they didn't have too many scenes with Ben Affleck and him or Batgirl and him, so you could have done that and got away with it. Shazam's not in it either, so that was the film I would have said. I would have probably kept. So, yeah. But now James Gunn did a Michael Rosenbaum about a month ago, 2 months ago, whatever, and said, oh yeah, that's connected now. Now it's connected? Why you didn't say that shit during the announcement earlier this year? Because he wasn't going to connect it. He's saying that now so y'all can go out and see the film. Now, this is before the whole writer's strike, actor guilds, or whatever crap really went full throttle. Now, I don't think he cares. But Shazam was a failure because he kind of threw that under the rug. He was like, oh, yeah, go see these films and stuff. He didn't want to touch none of this shit anyway because this is from a previous administration, previous regime. The only one I think he wanted to dabble with was Ezra Miller because he likes Ezra Miller and the Flash is always a character that you always use, even though they could have done some stuff where they could have killed him off and bring in Wally, but I digress. I fucking digress. I could go on and on. I do like Jason Momoa's portrayal of Aquaman, and I hate that the film is suffering, not just because of James Gunn, too. I can't blame so much on James Gunn with the Aquaman film that might fail. The Amber Heard situation of last year, that's playing a big factor, too. A lot of people are not forgetting that. Other than the Ezra Miller shit, that situation which was bad, too. But we still got Amber Heard looking around, too. So it's like, let these films play out the way they are. Don't touch it. Don't meddle with it. Don't try to connect. Don't. Let these films play out and say, if they make money, bring them in. And you do a scene and you just reboot that and incorporate that too. He's trying to meddle things and do what he wants to do. Bruh, leave these films the fuck alone. Let these films play out. And you'll get your returns back. David Zaslav was a fucking idiot too because he allowing this shit. Stop meddling in this shit. Why you think DC failed the last fucking time? Why you think Warner Brothers failed the last time? Meddling. Stop fucking meddling in these films. Stop. Let them play out. The only film I think played out the way he wanted to was Shazam because he said that was the better film. Get the fuck out of here. That was a piece of shit. I might quote him wrong, but that's the only film I can see that played out. Now, Zachary Levi's coming out saying, well, everybody hates the film. Bro, follow the source material. And that's not on James Gunn, and I'm definitely not going to talk about James Gunn on Shazam. And I won't get to Shazam in another video. If you guys want me to talk about that, comment below, let me know. And I got some shit to say about Shazam. But that's not James Gunn. They deviated, but a lot of that factor was due to Dwayne Johnson and his ego. And I will, if y'all want me to indulge in that, I could talk about that. But The Flash, heavily reshooted. Multiple scenes. The George Clooney, his fucking idea. Why not just have Ben Affleck? Why not keep Michael Keaton and Sasha Calle's character in there, just in case the film does well? Then the Blue Beetle, it's like, oh, now it's connected. Motherfucker, that should have been connected the first thing. Because even when I'm sitting there and I'm looking like, oh, they'll keep the Blue Beetle. My friend's like, why? I said, it's the one film that's not really connected to none in the universe. He said, oh, okay, that makes sense. Motherfucker does an announcement. Doesn't say shit about Blue Beetle being connected until the film's about to come out. That's on him and David Zaslav. Because the shareholders are pissed the fuck off. They put all that goddamn money in the Flash and they got no investment. They were mad at Shazam. They're furious at the Flash because the Flash cost over $300 million fucking dollars. They thought this film was going to kickstart it and it failed. And it was a good film, but it fucking bombed in the box office. Due to Ezra Miller, due to James Gunn not taking accountability and say it's connected, not saying, well, we don't know, motherfucker, say if it is or not. We want to know. You have the keys to the kingdom. Don't act like you don't know. Well, I'm not obligated to say, yeah, you are. You run DC Studios now. You say, yeah, we're keeping the Flash and we're keeping Blue Beetle. That's all you got to say. But you didn't want to say nothing on Ezra Miller because, A, he did all that crazy shit. And again, that's before he came in. Same with David Zaslav. Well, that happened during the time he was in there anyway. But that's up to them. David Zaslav should have came out and said, yeah, we're keeping the Flash. The film does well, we'll keep him. If not, I mean, I would have came out and said, even though if the film does well or not, we're rebooting and we're doing a different Flash because the stuff he did was too hinderous. Then you got Aquaman. This is the film that arguably is the most one that is baffling to me. This is the film that I would heavily promote. Like, yeah, we're doing the Aquaman. They're not saying shit about that. This film made over $1 billion. I have never, in my wildest dreams, seen a studio not promote or undermine a film or just don't care about a film that made them $1 billion. Was one of the most highest gross films of that year. And they don't want to talk about it. That's the one that's baffling to me. James Gunn know how much money that film made. David Zaslav know, but he put more focus, oh, the Joker's fine. I'm like, what about Aquaman? It made $1 billion. Oh, you go in there reshooting it, doing this, doing that, and taking away from James Wan. I'm like, you're going in there telling a director who made $1 billion, going there, reshooting shit, taking scenes out of place because this and that, this and the third, this, that, and the third. And it's $1 billion film. I wouldn't even dare touch that. So yeah, you do what you want to do. If it makes money, we'll grow it. If it don't, it is what it is. See, that's the difference between the CEOs back in the day and the businessman. David Zaslav is a businessman, but he's a fucking idiot when it comes to Hollywood producing. I, myself, would have told him, don't touch that. James Wan made $1 billion film, let him continue making $1 billion films. Because I don't want to fuck up the flow, the magic of the first one that was in the second, if it's in the second one. If Amber Heard is in that film, which she is, as much as I disagree with her what she did, don't take her out the film if it's going to fuck up the film. Just say she's being recast. She's not doing no promotion, she's just being recast. But they don't want to take a stance on that. That's the studio's fault. That's not James Gunn's fault either. That came before him. But they should have made an announcement. After that show, she's no longer working with us. But she still is in the film, so we still have to give her credit. And also, we still have the film to come out because we don't want to take nothing away from the director, the actors who actually were in the film, who actually did a good job. When one of the actors came out, I think it was Patrick Wilson. I think it was Patrick Wilson, I believe. The guy who's doing The Conjuring and stuff like that. Came out and said, yeah, I just did some reshoots a couple weeks ago. That was back in fucking June. This film's supposed to come out in fucking December. Are you fucking kidding me? And this is a film that you reshoot a year ago because you heavily are underwater. You have to make it look believable. That other one took a while. They even said this one took a while. It cost a lot of money. But they made that money back with that film. James Gunn, David Zaslav, stop meddling in these films. Let the film come out to what it is. If it bombs, it bombs. But you can at least say, hey, we tried it. I wouldn't even dare touch Aquaman if it made $1 billion the first time. And a lot of that is help with James Wan, and also Jeff Johns was really working on that film. Jeff Johns really worked on that film with him. But Jeff Johns knows Aquaman inside and out. And I don't think he's remotely on this film. Again, Why you didn't get him back on this film is beyond fucking me. Because he knows that character inside and out. And I'm not a huge Aquaman fan, but I can say Jason Momoa really owned that role. God. This is what makes me so mad at Warner Brothers, because they're not learning from the past mistakes. The studio meddled with the Justice League, the film bombed. Studio meddling has made the films, their superhero films, bomb. Justice League, Batman v Superman. Well, cutting the film was Batman v Superman. Meddling was Justice League, because that was Abomination. And it's just gotten worse after worse. But I say this though, this is suicide. If I was a studio, this would be suicide. You're trying to get rid of debt, and you're actually accumulating more debt by not letting these films come out the way they're supposed to. We have yet got a trailer for Aquaman. I have not seen a trailer for that. That's not good, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Beetle got a trailer. Flash got a trailer. Shazam Aquaman has not got a trailer. That is not good. I have never seen a film that made $1 billion get no trailer, no anything, no nothing. The summer's almost over. They should have dropped the trailer for Aquaman. They got nothing. So they already know there's problems in the works. I wouldn't even meddle with that. I would say, yeah, let the film play out. We'll just tell her she's gone. We're not touching this film, because we make sure this film is good to be released. James Wan's not even working on this film no more. He's like, yeah, I've been done directing this. Someone else is directing it. And I think it's James Gunn. Well, before this whole actor strike and all this stuff happened. Which is bullshit for them to do. Let the film come out the way it is. And if it bombs, it bombs. Stop meddling in it to fit your narrative. You look at that third act of Flash, nothing but terrible CGI. You know why? They fucking did that scene a year ago. Or not even a year ago, but a few months ago. All of that Flash and all that was redone. And you can look at it and you can see it was done back maybe January or February. How I know this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can look at it. When CGI is bad like that, that's just freaking. They didn't have the time to really make it good. That, and also the fact too that you can see Ezra Miller a little bit and some of his hair. They try to hide it, but I really got like zoomed in and that shit. And he started having long hair. When early on throughout the film, he has short hair. That was filmed when it was filmed. But the long hair, if you notice how he looked in, he had long hair. But you have to really look at it though. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. Like I said, the title of this video is James Gunn, David Zaslav, stop meddling in these films. Let them play out. James Gunn, David Zaslav need to let these films play out. More so Blue Beetle and Aquaman. Now, Blue Beetle is probably the one I would meddle in, and just not meddle in, but more like have an after credit scene, have him meet the new Superman. But again, he's doing too much. But I done spoken enough on that shit. As always, guys, like, subscribe, peace, have a Johnson day. I could go on all day. I will talk to you in the next video.